Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Gillian Barry, and today we have a lovely, amazing, incredible guest, Shane Sterling, and we are talking about how you can change your life with a juice cleanse in 2023. Juice cleansing is one of the best things I've ever discovered, and nothing has changed my life more. And I'm sure Shane would say the same thing about his experience as well. So we're going to answer all your questions in this as well, get into the benefits, and answer absolutely everything. So you guys are going to want to stick around to the end. And let's say hey to Shane. Hey Shane, how's it going?
Hi, Gillian. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. It's my
Yeah.
absolute pleasure to speak with you today and to speak with your audience and to be as helpful as possible on this topic. It's one of my areas of expertise. I am a juice fasting coach and I have been for many years, and I've got a great juice fasting community. I've witnessed thousands of juice fasts over the years and personally assisted hundreds of people through juice fasting. So I love talking about it. I'm a juicer myself. I love juicing. I have been juicing since I was a teenager, and I'm
Yeah.
50 years old
Wow.
now. So for many years, over 30 years, I've been juicing.
Wow, look at you. That was so young that you discovered juicing then. That's crazy. That's great. Because I didn't even think it was
Yeah,
that big back then.
I have to give a shout out to my mom who introduced me to juice when I was a kid back in the 70s. She would put juice on the kitchen table for me and say, "Here, drink this." And I'd be like, "This makes me feel sick, Mom. I can't drink this." Like I
That's my
used to say
daughter.
to her, "How can something that makes me feel so sick be good for me?"
Yeah. Well, okay. So I would like to talk about how a juice cleanse has changed your life specifically and mine. But first, I would love for you to expand on the benefits someone could experience if they start a juice cleanse this year and maybe why you think now is the time for someone to just pull that plug and do it. I know a lot of people think about doing it for a long time, but they don't actually take the steps.
Juicing impacts our gut microbiome in a really, really beneficial way. So there's never a bad time to start to influence the good gut microbes in our body. But most importantly, the number one reason to do a juice fast and why no one should even hesitate or think twice about juice fasting specifically is because there's one major primary benefit, and that is to empty the waste out of the GI tract. The only reason to do a juice fast, in my opinion, is to empty all of the accumulated waste, biofilm, mucoid plaque, hardened proteins, mucus, and old poop that has accumulated in the GI tract. It's essential to get that out because that's wreaking havoc. It's causing problems and it will poison us from the inside. So if we have any sign of inflammation in our body, including chronic fatigue or any type of skin problems, any kind of autoimmune, the first step is to empty the waste out of the GI tract. Now, a juice fast does not heal us. Actually, a juice fast just opens the pressure that's accumulated in the bowels so the body can naturally heal us over time. So, what heals us is the detoxification process. Our body's a brilliant machine. It knows how to eliminate waste. And if it can't eliminate waste, we get sick. So as we open the bowels, now the body can start to eliminate the waste, and that's what heals us over time. Juice fasting is not a quick fix, but it's the first step in healing because the body wants to naturally heal. So if we can get out of our own way, if we can create an environment where the body is able to function properly, then the body will heal. And we can
Mhm.
support the body with a raw food diet after we do a juice fast. That's the best way. So that's what I teach. That's what I promote is doing a juice fast as an intervention one time, and you never have to do it again. Juicing does not have to be ongoing. It's not a lifestyle. Having juice as part of our lifestyle is wonderful, yes, but a juice fast is not a lifestyle,
Yeah.
and it's not something that we need to do ongoing. So it's simple to do it once if you follow the right protocol and you have the right guidance and you make sure you empty all of the waste, which means you do not have any more solid waste coming out of the GI tract. If you can achieve that, it will set you up for the best health of your life ongoing well into old age. It's absolutely transformative, and I recommend every human being experience it at least one time.
Absolutely. I did a juice fast recently. It was, I guess, 2 months ago or so. And I was dealing with a health crisis. And I was shocked how quickly it repaired me because nothing else was
Mm.
working. It was crazy. And by like, I was bedridden. It was just a crazy situation. And by day three, like the juicing completely fixed me. It was amazing. So I'm like so big into juicing lately. And it also makes you feel so good, right? I think a lot of people think like it can be like a dreadful thing. You're going to be so pissed off. You're going to be telling everybody off. You're going to be grumpy. But no, I feel like if you drink enough calories and you treat it like a feast, then you feel amazing. It can totally change your life, right? Don't you think that's super key to drink a lot and have a lot of calories?
Yes, absolutely. Calories actually help the body detox properly. So people think that they're going to be inundated with a juice fast. They won't be able to work. They will be inundated with the detox symptoms, maybe in bed and unable to function, unable to take care of their kids. But often the exact opposite is true. People hit an invigorated plateau of energy on a juice fast. Because when you're not digesting solid food, your body is able to uptake all of the calories, nutrition, hydration, minerals, and nutrients in juices without digesting. So you're getting an exceptional immense amount of vitality from the juices without any digestive effort that takes energy away from the body. So you actually get a huge surge of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a health problem or you're coming to juice fasting for healing purposes, there can be some detox symptoms associated, but we can minimize detox symptoms greatly by following a couple key parameters. One is to have adequate juice. So I recommend 6 32-ounce servings of juice per day. That would be
So like
6
beets,
quarts
right?
or 6 liters. Yes, that size. 6 of those per day will generally give you adequate calories and hydration. The other key is hydration. Our body needs water and liquids and fluids to remove the toxins. So if we're having detox symptoms, we need to drink more juice. And this is where people get into trouble. If they're juice fasting and they have a detox symptom, they shy away from the juice and they say, oh, I don't want any more of that. It's making me detox. When in fact, if we lean into the juice and we have more juice, it will speed the process up and we can get through the juice fast quicker, more efficiently and effectively, and have minimized detox symptoms. Because look, we don't want to leave those toxins in our body. We want to get it out. We want to clean
Mm-hmm.
out and feel good and look good. So
Mm-hmm.
the way we do that is we lean into the juices and we push past our resistance and have more juice.
Yeah. And you definitely look good. You're about to turn 50 really soon. So we'll be posting a video about that and all your anti-aging secrets. So stay tuned and subscribe for that. And okay, I want to ask you for anybody who hasn't heard your story yet, if you could just like summarize how juicing has specifically changed your life and what you got from juicing.
Oh, yeah. So I had the call to go raw vegan. I knew I wanted to go 100% raw. I'd been called to the lifestyle for many years, 15 years. I first felt the call when I was 30. And it wasn't until 44 where I said, I'm going to actually do this. I always felt like a raw vegan diet and lifestyle was removed somehow, like for monks on a mountaintop or people who were extra disciplined or extra spiritual or something. And it never felt like something I could realistically integrate into my lifestyle. But at the age of 44, I realized that I had to claim my power and my purpose on this earth. I could no longer play small and pretend that inadequate was good enough, that mediocre was good enough. I decided to take on the complete transformation of my lifestyle, and I decided to go fully raw vegan. So I started eating raw food, 100% raw, for about a month. I was making big salads with nuts and seeds and walnuts and apples, and it felt good. But after about a month, I started to feel detox symptoms. That's when I started a juice fast because I wanted to get through the detox symptoms quicker. So I did a 40-day juice fast, specifically focused on eliminating all of the waste out of my GI tract. Now, I went a total of 40 days during that juice fast, but the really unique thing was at about day 15, I started to release mucoid plaque. Mucoid plaque is a coined term that really just refers to biofilms. Okay, biofilms that are accumulated in the GI tract. Now, when I saw this mucoid plaque come out, I was absolutely astounded. I was really surprised, caught off guard. And in the hours and even day leading up to my first release of mucoid plaque ever, I was feeling very ill, like the worst detox symptoms I had felt. And then all of a sudden, I released mucoid plaque and had this of relief, the sense of like a burden lifted off my shoulders. It was a really expansive feeling. I felt giddy. I felt surprised. I felt like I had achieved the holy grail of detox, of transformation. It was an incredible experience. It made me feel amazing. Now, for a week solid, mucoid plaque came out. So day 15 to 21, I had mucoid plaque coming out. After that, it stopped. I had no more mucoid plaque come out at all. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get more to come out. It went an additional 20 days after that. I stopped having solid bowel movements completely, and I felt like I had accomplished my goal of emptying my GI tract. So that was when I decided to break my fast, come back onto a 100% raw vegan diet. And I've been raw vegan ever since. Now, I will say that juice fast experience was so transformative, so life-changing, that I wanted to help other people experience what I had experienced. It was so life-changing that it actually it encouraged me, motivated me, inspired me to change my careers. I decided I was going to be a raw vegan coach and a detox coach. So at that was the moment I started my business, Raw Vegan Rising, and decided I was going to take phone calls and help people over the phone with coaching.
Mhm.
Well, since then, I've started my group coaching membership program called Raw Vegan Heroes, which helps people detox and juice fast. We've had thousands of people come through the membership over the years, juice fasting. So I've really gotten to step into my power as a juice fast coach and mentor for people. And I've been very successful doing it. Juice fasting changed the course of my life. It changed my purpose on this planet. It changed my sense of alignment with health and healing and my vision and my values. It's my means of making an income and supporting others, my purpose and soul work. It completely revolutionized my life. I mean, I can't describe it enough. So, what I encourage people to do is go into a juice fast with the intention of having a transformation, not just drinking juice for 7 days or whatever, but go all the way, go the distance, get everything out of your GI tract, simultaneously asking for guidance. Who am I supposed to be? How can I transform the world? What's my purpose in life? What shadow aspects of my life have I not integrated? Where am I abandoning myself? Where am I not loving myself? Because that's what I saw. That's what I saw in my juice fast. I saw where I was not whole, where I was not loving myself. The
Wow.
process of releasing the waste was like dislodging decades of stuffed emotions and impacted and rejected parts of myself, like repressed emotions. It was like a complete emotional transformation. And in that emotional transformation, I saw clearly the path open up before me, telling me what I was supposed to do. At that time, this was 5 years ago, 2017, I had never considered being a coach, a health coach, a juice fast coach ever once in my life. And the feeling I got was so clear that I had taken on the role and the leadership responsibility. And look where I am today. I
Yeah.
have a big impact in this community around juice fasting. There's currently 1,250 members in Raw Vegan Heroes right now, as of today, who look to me for guidance. I do a weekly live stream Q&A into the group, answering questions.
Mhm.
Everybody wants the transformation with a juice fast. And I'll tell you, the best way to do it is to get really intimate with our self-care, our self-healing, and get intimate with our trauma. If we can juice fast and focus on our shadow work at the same time, we could just very well have that life transformation we're looking for, where all of a sudden everything clicks together. Your vision, your values, your action,
Mhm.
and your service all aligns into one. That's the holy grail. I'm
Mhm.
really, really grateful that juice fasting has provided that level of clarity for me. And I would wish, it would be my prayer, that everybody could experience that level of clarity and transformation from a juice fast as well.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people go into a juice fast because they're dealing with some health problems or they don't have the energy they want or they have acne or things like that. But then it becomes a huge life transformation experience and all so many areas of their lives change. Like what happened to you, it becomes a deep spiritual experience also. That's the case for me. I started out for health and then it's just like you continue to do it because you're like, wow, I've never felt so much like myself, so spiritually connected. And then you see people, they totally change their entire lives on a juice fast. They're like, I broke up with my partner. It wasn't the person for me. I'm doing a new career. I'm doing this. And it's just such a positive thing.
It is so positive.
Yeah. And I want to ask, so why do you think someone should maybe do a juice fast now, start it now in 2023 versus waiting a couple years till 2024, 2025 versus putting it off anymore?
It's a matter of being called. Look, if you're called, if someone is called, you have to say yes. It's the calling to your hero's journey, your own personal transformation. The hero's journey is a mythological tale about how the individual goes through a transformational process of self-discovery. This goes back to Carl Jung's work, and Joseph Campbell through the 70s and 80s talked about it and coined it as the hero's journey. But it's really about feeling the call for your own personal transformation. This is a death and rebirth process, becoming the best version of ourselves. It starts with a calling in your heart. If you feel the calling, you
Mm-hmm.
must say yes. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in the hero's mythology, Carl Jung's work, he talks about the hero being reluctant. The hero doesn't feel ready, doesn't feel qualified. So we're never going to feel ready to do a juice fast, except if the calling is in your heart, then it's your duty to say yes and to listen. Now, also in the hero's mythology, when we say yes to our hero's journey, that's when a mentor appears. If you think about all the great mythological heroes' tales throughout history, a mentor presents themselves to the hero that is reluctant and ushers them across that initial threshold of fear, the initial threshold of resistance to saying yes, to realize that we actually are capable of saying yes to our hero's journey, saying yes to our juice fast transformation. This is what I really aspire to be
Mm-hmm.
myself. I see myself as that role, as a mentor. It's not so much telling you what to do step by
Yeah.
step, but saying, look, this is the threshold of fear. You can do it. So someone who has just gone before you on the path is a very powerful mentor at that time, to realize that we can say yes, face our fears, and do it. There's no time to waste. If we put it off, it will only get more painful. One thing about when you have a calling placed in your heart, whether it's to grow a business or to start a family or to do a juice fast and cleanse, no matter what that calling is in your heart, if you do not listen, it becomes more and more painful, because we are getting out of alignment with our soul's destiny. We have to
Mm-hmm.
bring ourselves back into alignment simply by surrendering. So I would say the real big action to take is surrender. We surrender our life to our hero's journey, to the becoming of who we're meant to be. We surrender to the resistance. Our ego wants to hold on to everything that we love, food and family traditions and cultural traditions and pressures from society, or pressures that we don't have the support, or pressures that we can't work and take care of our kids and juice fast at the same time. All the ways that the ego talks us out of what we need most. We've got to surrender the ego desperately trying to hold on and talk us out of it, to simply saying yes. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, if we can find a mentor to usher us across the threshold, join a juice fasting group like Raw Vegan Heroes for that support, that is where we will realize that we can do this. We're meant for this. This is our soul's destiny, and it will bring us back into alignment. We will feel the click of the vision, the values, the action, and the service come into momentum. And that's when then we want to focus on intention, the intention behind why we're doing it, the
Mm-hmm.
emotional transformation. We want to focus on facing our shadow, having emotional detox, releasing past trauma patterns, releasing the fear that we've held on to our whole life, the low self-esteem that we're not worthy, we're not good enough to be healed, we're not good enough to excel at life and succeed at life. A juice fast can remove the blocks that hold us back from who we're simply meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Juice fasting isn't it's not like supernatural. It's just removing blocks. It's removing physical blocks, it's removing mental blocks, emotional blocks. And if we're intentional, we can see clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not intentional, sure, maybe we won't have that experience. But if we want to be masters of our reality, if we want to be exceptionally successful in our lives and be an example for others, we need to be intentional. Need to be intentional with everything we do, including this transformational journey with the juice fast.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think some of those things you said, like surrendering or being part of your group or a group during the first few days, can help. I know the first few days can be really hard for people. Say they want to do 2 weeks or 10 days or 40 days. The first 2 to 3 days for me are like always the hardest. Your thoughts, especially day two, are like, stop, stop, stop. Do you have any extra tips for like those early days to like power through?
I would say that we have to have a vision. We have to have a vision. So I do private coaching, juice fast coaching with people. This is what I've been
Hmm.
doing for many years. I have many private clients that I work with on a daily basis. I have many clients working with right now. The one thing that we need that will cloud the vision, will cloud the certainty, which will give us a sense of fear or hesitation is lack of vision. We have to be hooked into why we're doing the juice fast. That's number one. Number two is to simply lean into the juice. Let the juice do the work. We think that we have to muster up this willpower to somehow push through, even in the first few days where it's hardest. If we lean into the juice, we will feel the support of the juice. The juice is aligned with, natural law, Mother Nature's divine will and purpose for us. All of the nutrients, the support, the calories, the phytochemicals that support us, make the brain function properly, the gut-brain connection function properly. As we flood our body and our cells with that level of nutrition, we're naturally supported. If we feel hesitant, like, oh, stop, 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 and we start to reduce the amount of juice, instead of having 6 quarts, we go down to 4 and then 3, and oh, I'm not feeling so well. I only had 2 quarts of juice today. That's the threshold of failure. You have to
Hmm.
lean into the juice, have 6 quarts of juice, even if you're feeling hesitant, weak, tired, reluctant. The juice can be your supernatural mentor to walk you through the threshold if you rely on it. But to have that, we have to have the vision first. So you really got to connect with why you want this. Why are you doing it? Do you want a transformation in your life? Do you want to be the best version of yourself? Do you want to stop with the low self-esteem patterns that have held you back your whole life? If so, then use that as the fuel to stay consistent and to really stay on path,
Yeah.
because we all have a calling for a greater version of ourselves in our heart at some point in our life, and a lot of us will never achieve it, and we hold back our whole lives. So my prayer to you is that you do achieve it. Say yes
Hmm.
to your juice fast and push through, because this is your life on the line. Letting your fears stop you is probably a pattern you've always had your whole life. So you got to break that pattern and let the juice help you, let the vision help you, and ideally, if you can have a mentor through the process, that let the mentor help you and guide you until you can get your own wind in your sails. There is a point in the hero's journey where the mentor leaves and the mentor is no longer part of the hero's journey for that hero. That's in all the mythological tales. And that is where the hero starts to find their own strength and their own power. And that's an
Hmm.
incredible feeling to find that, where you have wind in your sails. You're like, oh, I can fly. Look at this. I am more powerful. I am more healed. I am more whole than I ever thought possible. That's where we are going. And that's a
Hmm.
worthwhile thing to strive for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. And I feel like when people do juice fast and they stick to it, almost always, most of the time, it turns out to be a success and the most life-changing experience they've ever had. I do hear the odd person say that it wasn't and it didn't work for them, like they hear other people saying, but I would say like most of the time, I know you coach a lot of people. Would you say from your experience, most of the time it's a success and the people are happy they did it?
The people who seek proper guidance 100% of the time have an amazing experience.
Hmm.
Investing in a coach and a mentor ensures that we have a good experience. The best way to go from where we are to where we want to be is accountability. That's how I've
Hmm.
achieved all the success in my life, is through my mentors and accountability groups and being part of something bigger than myself. If we have the lone wolf syndrome, where we think we have to do everything by ourselves, we don't need help, we can figure it out on our own, we're essentially not coachable. That's a detriment. That comes from low self-esteem. That comes from low self-worth. That comes from, at some point in your past, in your childhood, your mom, your dad, your primary caregivers told you that you weren't worthy of that. You weren't worthy of success. And it plays out in our adult life by being the lone wolf. The lone wolf syndrome is why people will not succeed on a juice fast or have that level of transformation. It's simply people who do not seek the higher intention behind what they're doing.
Hmm.
Intention is everything. If we have the
It
right
is.
intention behind what we're doing, we will achieve the benefits. This goes for every aspect of our life: love, money, health, juice fasting, service work, building businesses, growing our families, investing into the transformation of our communities and our society and humanity as a whole. So we're not going to do this by just hoping that life happens for us, sitting back, resting on our laurels, hoping that if we drink juice, we're going to get some miracle gift. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
We get lucky. The universe meets us when we invest in, when we do hard work, when we have the intention behind it. Then we get lucky. Then we get the miracle. Then we get the gift.
Well said. I love it. Okay. Well, I'd love to ask you some of the viewers' questions. My viewers have really good questions. And the first one is from William. He says, what are some high protein raw juices?
The greens are all we need. We don't need protein, we need amino acids. So we actually don't build tissue. We don't build muscle from muscle tissue. We build muscle from amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. So there's plenty of amino acids in green juice. In my protocol that I support people with in juice fasting, I recommend 3 liters a day, 3 quarts, or half of all the juices you consume to be a green juice recipe that is called the lemon ginger blast. It's Lou Corona's recipe. It's a great recipe. It includes some of the basics: parsley and cilantro, celery, apple, cucumber, the greens. Now, if we want extra protein, we can juice some spinach into there, kale and dark leafy greens as well. But essentially, if we have 3 lemon ginger blast juices per day, as my protocol outlines, we will get enough amino acids to go an extended period of time. Sometimes I will coach people who are chronically ill who need to go 3 months on juices and beyond. I've actually worked with people where we've juiced for 6 months at a time. That's a long time to not be eating solid food. And that's where we want to be diligent about having the green juices, because it provides the amino acids. But in general, we have to remember, though, that a juice fast is temporary. Even if we go 40 days, we're not going to become deficient in protein. And we also want to be careful that we're not having conflicting goals. I hear in this question a little bit of a conflicting goal happening for this viewer, that having protein means they want to build and maintain because they're in the mentality of building and maintaining with protein. But a juice fast is actually a temporary intervention protocol for detoxification, which is the opposite of building or maintaining. It's actually letting go. It's letting go of waste, letting go of toxins. It's literally physically, mentally, and emotionally letting go. And so in that surrender, we have to surrender our need to maintain and to build. And we have to understand that if we do one thing all the way with full intention, we will be successful. If we try to do 2 things simultaneously, we will achieve neither. So one of the ways that I coach people consistently is through proper goal setting. Drop the need to go to the gym, drop the need to build muscle, drop the need to gain weight or maintain weight during a juice fast, and let the temporary nature of a juice fast do the magic for you. It's only 40 days of your life. It's not forever. And you'll have health benefits that continue to benefit you for the rest of your life. So it's a worthwhile shifting of your goals and prioritizing one thing at a time in the right order.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the next question, they said, what about teeth sensitivity to acidic fruits, to fruit acids?
Yeah, this is a big question and concern for a lot of people. For one, drink your juices with a straw. Do minimize acid exposure to the teeth enamel, but most of the teeth sensitivity that we experience is not from the acids in fruit. And this happened to me personally. My teeth became excruciatingly sensitive the first year of my raw vegan transition. After my 40-day juice fast, my teeth started to get really sensitive. They got worse and worse and worse through that first year, so much so that I was convinced I had destroyed my teeth, that all the enamel was eroded off from acidic fruits, and that my teeth were going to be permanently damaged. However, over the course of time, that was revealed to be incorrect. When I went to the dentist finally, they said my enamel was perfect. I had no erosion on my teeth from a high fruit, acidic, raw vegan diet, acid in fruit acidic. And so what I was experiencing, and what most people experience with teeth sensitivity, is detox. Acids coming out of the tissues and the teeth. The teeth are porous, the teeth will detox. The sensitivity is not acid exposure on the teeth, it is actually toxins and acids coming from within the teeth. Now, there is no information on this. This is not something that is studied. We do not have scientific studies on this. We have to go from what we understand through personal experience. through working with people over the years based on their experiences and my experiences, I am confident to say acid exposure on the teeth from the fruit juices is not the concern. It's the detox from within the porous tissues that is going to be the problem. All the more reason to lean into the juice fast and to detox properly as quickly as possible. After your juice fast, stay raw, fully raw until the sensitivity goes away, until your inflammation goes away, until all the signs of acid go away. That's
Hmm.
going to be the best strategy. And then once you do that, all of those acids and that internal toxicity is gone forever. You never have to do it again. It's a one-time process of detox. And it's life-changing. And that removing those blocks, removing those toxins actually opens our consciousness, our mind, our connectivity. It's really enlivening, invigorating, improves our vitality, energy, sense of optimism, hope. It's really healing to ourselves emotionally and mentally. So the sensitivity in the teeth is really just a detox symptom that has to be pushed through, and don't have fear around it. I will say, though, it is important to floss and to keep the bacteria down, because the bacteria in our gums
Hmm.
is actually the streptococcus bacteria that cause cavities. They do live in the gums. And if we disturb the microbiome of the mouth by all of a sudden eating a lot of extra juices or whatnot, it can invigorate the bacterial colonies of streptococcus that live in our gums. The only dental concern we have is to keep the streptococcus bacteria knocked back on a daily basis. Knock them back with floss, knock them back with hydrogen peroxide rinse. And what I do personally is brush with baking soda, straight powdered baking soda right out of the box, baking soda on the toothbrush. Put the baking soda on your teeth. It will help with sensitivity. And then rinse with straight hydrogen peroxide, 3%. You can get food grade if you want. It can just be the pharmacy grade if you want to. Rinse with 3% hydrogen peroxide. Now, the baking soda and hydrogen peroxide will assist in the sensitivity and keeping the bacteria back. But again, we have to understand that the real pain is coming from within the teeth. So I hope that's helpful. That's
Yeah.
really good information based on many years of experience.
Yeah, it is for sure. And the next question they said, what do you recommend for headaches? I get them when I don't eat my carbs.
Headaches are something that plagued me personally for the first 2 years of my raw vegan journey. I was at my wit's end about my headaches. Actually, I had what I would consider migraines at one point, and I couldn't figure it out. The stress of my migraines was so debilitating that I couldn't make YouTube videos. I was making YouTube videos at the time, and I would have to work around my migraines to be able to record a YouTube video. At a
Wow.
moment where the migraine wasn't like flaring up, I'd say, quick, get to the camera and make a YouTube video, because I felt like my eyes were barely open and the lights were hurting my head. So I struggled with headaches. I thought for sure, I was convinced that the raw vegan diet was not going to work. It was causing health problems. I had headaches because I was deficient. All of this stuff has proven to be untrue. It was a form of detox. I don't know how to describe it other than my body had some major transformation to go through. So if you're having detox symptoms like headaches, you really want to fuel your body with a high carbohydrate diet, raw, undenatured, high in fruit, high in greens, with a moderate amounts of undenatured whole fats. If you just stick with that for enough time, your body will adapt and adjust, and you'll be able to get past the headaches, past the detox symptoms. But boy, it can be scary. And I'll tell you, things like headaches or any detox symptom can really be a healing crisis and a dark night of the soul. It can wear on us. It can cause anxiety. It can cause a sense of internal pressure that's unbearable. It can feel like the demons are coming for us. It can feel like we're going to die. And this is why I talk about surrender. If you feel like the demons are coming for you and you're going to die, surrender, release it, give over your life. Say, okay, take me. If this kills me, so be it. That's what I did. And I got the best gift of my entire life out of that deep level of surrender, which is exceptional health, being a raw vegan, being able to thrive, being able to coach people, support people. It's worth it.
Hmm.
If we hold on, if we say, oh, I can't make it through this dark night of the soul, this healing crisis, this is too much for me, I can't take it. What does that mean for your life? That means you give up on everything that's hard. What kind of a person will you be if you can't make it through detox? It means you probably can't make it through anything challenging. How we do one thing is how we do everything. And use your detox, use your healing crisis and your dark night of the soul as an opportunity to set a precedent for how you do everything. Be the
Mm-hmm.
warrior that overcomes the detox symptoms, and you will be capable of achieving greatness in your life for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Well said. And okay, the next question they said to juice or not to juice. What about the precious fiber? Blending is far superior to juicing, in my honest opinion. However, is there any fruit or veg that isn't commonly juiced that we should start juicing? People say a lot of people say, why juice, not smoothie? Like, can I do a smoothie fast instead? How do you think a smoothie cleanse would compare to a juice cleanse?
We have to just separate it into two categories: eating food and doing a juice fast. A juice fast is temporary for one purpose and one purpose only. We do not want to confuse drinking juice with a juice fast. And this is where this viewer is confused, in my opinion. I say that with
Mm-hmm.
respect and love, that a juice fast is the same as drinking juice. Those are not the same and they should not be confused. They're for completely different purposes. If we're talking about being a raw vegan, you don't need to drink juice. You can eat smoothies and eat raw fruits and vegetables and have the same benefit. Juicing is a personal preference. I personally happen to like making green juice for extra nutrition. A juicer is a way of concentrating phytochemicals, phytonutrients, flavonoids, and these chemicals that help us maintain health and anti-aging.
Mm-hmm.
So concentrating those minerals are good. Concentration through that tool, that juicer, that's beneficial in my opinion. But if you don't like it, sure, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
However, a juice fast is a temporary intervention protocol for removing waste out of the GI tract. We only have to do it one time properly, all the way, to experience the benefits for the rest of our life. Do a 40-day juice fast with the guidance following a protocol to remove mucoid plaque out of your bowels. If you do that and you accomplish that goal thoroughly, you will never have to do it again. Therefore, you can maintain all of your health and vibrancy through a raw vegan diet without juicing if you don't want to, because getting the biofilms like mucoid plaque out of the GI tract will improve digestion, bowel transit time, utilization, and absorption of food.
Mm-hmm.
80% of the US population is nutrient deficient. That's a scientific study. You can go look it up on Google. 80% is a very large amount because we have absorption problems that's caused from waste in the GI
Mm-hmm.
tract. Now, imagine if you're one of those 80% who can't digest properly and has nutrient deficiencies. Now, all of a sudden, you want to start eating raw food or a plant-based diet, and now you're becoming anemic and nutrient deficient on your plant-based diet, your vegan diet, your raw vegan diet. Why? Because you were already nutrient deficient. We
Mm-hmm.
have to address this by cleaning out the digestive system thoroughly one time. That's the intervention that I'm talking about. Intervene to improve digestion and utilization. It's like cleaning the gut out so it's that baby pink fresh skin that is able to get all the nutrients, and all the little cilia on the edges of the colon are able to extract all the nutrition perfectly clean, like the day you were born. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we want to get back to. That way, we don't have to fail on a plant-based diet. We don't have to fail on a vegan diet, a raw vegan diet, and say that that didn't work for us, because we've set the precedent. We've laid the foundation for proper absorption. So that's the difference between a juice fast and juicing.
Mm-hmm.
Fiber is essential to address that viewer's concern about fiber. Fiber is essential. That's why a raw vegan diet gives us the best health in our life. All the food we should eat should be filled with fiber. But there is the case where we can concentrate the nutrition and enjoy a juice once in a while. I love having a green juice, usually one per day, 5 days a week. I will have at
Yeah.
least a green juice.
Me too. I drink it every day. And the next question, okay, Claire says, what juicer do you use or what do you recommend?
I just got the Nama 2 juicer and I do love it. I will have to recommend that one for ease of use. It's very quick
Yeah.
and makes juicing quite a breeze and quite enjoyable. So I would say for the vast majority of people, that style of juicer with the large hopper, I think, Hiram makes one as well that's similar. That would be a good style of juicer. The
Yeah.
Nama is easier and quicker. If you just want to make a quick green juice for your day, the Nama all day long, that will be
I
the
love the
better.
Nama. I just got the
Yeah.
Nama a couple months ago. It's like the most life-changing thing ever. It is amazing because you
It's
could just
really
fill it
good.
up and you can go and do everything and then it just makes you juice and you can batch juice and make so I like and I did a comparison to my old juicer, the Breville juicer, and it's
Yeah.
crazy the difference, like how much more juice you get, the color and how much less foam. It's like life-changing. So if you guys want to save on that, I'll put my code down below. You can save like $55, I think, with my code on the J2. It's the best. I used to have the Omega and it was like I think it's kind of like the Green Star, right? The Omega. But I used it like 3 times because it drove me crazy, like trying to put it all back together and cleaning it. It's
Yeah,
too
I
intense.
don't like the Omega. I have experience with a lot of people who have the Omega who don't like it. I would persuade people against the Omega. If you're going to get a twin gear, get the Green Star, but really for 90% of people, get the Nama. It's
Yeah.
really great, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I have both juicers on my counter. I will say too, for making what is it? Nice cream. The Green Star, you can put the frozen bananas in and it comes out like soft serve.
Oh,
It has a
wow.
special attachment. Instead of the filter, instead of the little strainer device, you replace it with a solid piece and it pushes
Yeah.
out the. It's really cool. Like if you're doing that with kids, you put in the frozen and it comes out soft serve, nice cream. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So,
That's
and then
cool.
I also have a Cuisinart food processor and I have the very top of the line Vitamix. So I invest in my tools to be raw vegan. Make no
Yeah.
mistake, I
Me
will
too.
spend whatever it takes to be a healthy, sustainable raw vegan. Buying juicers, I mean, not a problem for me. I'll get whatever I need.
Yeah, me too. Okay. And the next question is how to minimize detox reactions and maintain energy.
There's really a simple answer to that. Minimizing detox on a juice fast means drinking more juice. I can't stress this enough. Most people say, but I'm small and petite. I can't drink more than 4 quarts, or whoa, that's a lot of juice for me to drink, or I feel
Mhm.
full. I can't take in that much liquid. I'm peeing all the time. These are the excuses I hear. But if you do not drink enough juice, and I recommend 6 quarts or 6 liters of juice per day, half of them being green juice, you will experience increased detox symptoms, hands down. The way to minimize detox symptoms is to have more juice. Now, the mental barrier to that is that it's the juice causing the detox symptom in the first place.
Mhm.
So the body has an aversion. The mind says, stop, do not drink that juice. I'm feeling sick. Where minimizing the detox means we have to lean into the juice. If there's ever a time to exert a little willpower, it's in that specific area and arena to have more juice when we're feeling detox symptoms. It's kind of counterintuitive, but it will make a huge difference. The other thing we can do to minimize detox symptoms is to stimulate the lymph and the bowels. What stimulates the lymph and the bowels? Running, jogging, bouncing. The biggest stimulant is up and down motions, jumping jacks, just jumping up and down. For an extended period of time, I would say a 30-minute brisk walk at a very fast clip would be an excellent way, doing that daily, to minimize detox symptoms.
Mhm.
And also
Okay.
enemas. You can do
Yeah.
enemas, although I do not recommend enemas officially as a bowel detox protocol. You can do them to help if you're really clogged up, enemas, anything to support the main organ of elimination.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
can be beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next question, they were asking for some easy 3 ingredient or less juicing recipes. I know one I love is just pineapple and turmeric. That's really good. And that's just 2 ingredients. But do you have a couple you'd recommend that are just really easy to make?
Let's see. I love pineapple and ginger.
That sounds good.
Pineapple and pineapple and ginger is one of my favorite. I would say also like an apple, lemon, ginger
Mm-hmm.
is a big one. I just do like an apple base with like a little seasoning, like a lemon and a ginger. That's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Also then just a celery base, like really like a celery, apple, cucumber, or a celery, beet, cucumber, celery, ginger, something like a celery base is always a really good idea. And I really love the herbs, cilantro and parsley. Any chance to get cilantro and parsley in for me is a big yes. So
Mm-hmm. Me too.
yeah, and then I really like to juice seasonally. So if citrus is in season, juice your citrus. If pomegranates are in season, which they are right now, juice your pomegranates. So using seasonal ingredients I think is really important because there's phytochemicals, nutrients, minerals, and vitamins in those seasonal fruits and vegetables that are essential for our immune system.
Mm-hmm.
And we can really boost our immune by juicing seasonally. So Just last night, I made a huge batch of pomegranate juice. Takes a while to get all the little seeds out, but it's worth it because the juice is delicious and it just feels like your immune is getting strong for the cold months coming ahead, you know?
I have to try that. I've never tried it. Do you just do it on its own with pomegranate?
Pomegranate on its own is absolutely freaking delicious. It is
Wow.
amazing. I would
Wow.
recommend removing all of the white pith inside of the pomegranate, though, which is very
Yeah.
bitter, and
Yeah.
just extract just those little seeds, and it's delicious. Now, I
Okay.
will add it to other things like apple, pomegranate, and ginger is one that I just made the other day. So delicious. I mean, it's unbelievably delicious. So
Hmm.
this time of year, also, apples and pears are in season. So adding those in with the pomegranate is just, I mean, that's an amazing thing to do. Seasonal is really how I think about it and focus
Yeah.
on.
That's the best. And I know a few
Yeah.
people were asking, what about adding soaked nuts or cashews or nuts to your juices? What do you think about that?
For a juice fast, no, because we want to minimize all fiber and digestion. We're looking to just fuel the body with instant energy, hydration, and nutrients without any digestive effort whatsoever. That allows the body to take a break from digesting. It's fasting, it's literally fasting, so the body can focus on eliminating. When the body is fasted, it will actually focus its energy to eliminating the waste that is accumulated in the body. That's in the interstitial fluids. It'll start to extract and move it out the bowels. If we're digesting food, though, the body's always inundated with
Hmm.
digestion so that it can never focus on that level of detox. So it's really important to give ourselves a break for juice fasting if that's our goal. If our goal is to be raw vegan, though, and eat a raw vegan diet, then yes, soaked nuts and seeds are a wonderful and necessary component of a raw vegan diet long term. We want to make sure we are getting adequate fats in our diet for health and longevity. I mean, the reason that I look good and feel good as a raw vegan and I'm a good example as a raw vegan is because I focus on fats. I love fats. I don't shy away from fats. I eat a lot of fats. I eat a lot of nuts and seeds, soaked and otherwise. I will say too that as you start a raw vegan diet in the early months and even years of a raw vegan diet, bowel transit time is much more important. Food combining is much more important. And the timing of when you eat fats really should be adhered to closely for optimal digestion.
Hmm.
For me now, at this time in my raw vegan journey, 5 years, I can pretty much eat fats in any combination and in any order I want to. But habitually, I still kind of tend to have larger amounts of fats later in the day. But honestly, it gets really good and it gets really normal. Eat a proper balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and you will thrive as a raw vegan.
Absolutely. Okay. And the next question they said, how to deal with not being able to drink enough juice because the juices make me super full. I hear a lot of people say that. I'm surprised. Like, I have no problem drinking a ton on a juice fast, but what do you have to say about that? Because that is a common question.
Is very common. Yes. So most of the people who come to me with for private juice fasting support will express this concern, and they're like, "But I'm only 5'2" and 110 pounds. How could you expect me to drink that much?" The What I commonly say is that resistance to the juice is a form of detox symptom. Any kind of aversion to the volume or quantity of juice is essentially your body reacting to what's about to happen, how it's going to pull detox. The astringent nature of the juices will pull toxins from the tissues, the bowels, the lymphatic system, and the interstitial fluids. You're inundating your body with toxins. That's really the aversion. The body will adapt and adjust to the volume of liquid pretty quickly. I mean, we can easily drink a gallon to 2 gallons of liquid in a day if we are fasting. That's
Hmm.
not going to be a difficult amount for our body to process. What is difficult, though, however, is the results of that. The juices will instigate detox, and our body says, stop, slow down. I don't like that. So it's very common that what people's resistance is a form of detox. Not only do people not like the volume of liquid, but people also do not like the taste, or that they don't like the green juice, or they don't like the sweet juice. I have one client right now who I'm working with who has been anti fruit most of her life, like a keto style diet, even as vegan, animal based, on and off. And this is her first time surrendering to all carbohydrate. for a period of time, and she's freaked out because she says she's never liked the taste of sweet. Again, that resistance has nothing to do with whether you like sweet or not, because our body thrives on simple carbohydrates. That's just the truth.
Mhm.
Scientifically, medically proven, our body thrives on simple carbohydrates. However, that aversion to the sweetness is because when you eat fruit, you detox. If you've been on animal products and acid
Mhm.
forming foods for all your years and you start eating fruit, that sweetness is associated with detox. So your body says, stop the sweetness, when in reality, it's a detox symptom. So any aversion to a whole food, raw vegan, plant based diet is detox. Any
Mhm.
aversion, food sensitivities, food preferences. Ideally, we should be able to stand in the complete, total, whole truth of fruits, vegetables, raw nuts, and seeds. If we have an aversion to the taste or the volume or the this or the that, it's because we are not in a fully whole expressed version of our health. We're in some subpar categorized version of our health that is like compartmentalized, low fat or high fat or low carbohydrate or high carbohydrate. Minimizing any one of the macronutrients is ultimately going to just deter from our ultimate health. Ultimate health comes from whole, raw, undenatured carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in a proper balance. That's it.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, and then the next question, so they said, "Sometimes juicing makes me lightheaded, even straight celery or green juice. I don't strain the juices to remove the fiber, though. Not sure why it has an impact on me. I sip slowly, maybe because I'm drinking coffee too." I would think that's the coffee
Mm.
too, right? For sure. Yeah.
I was going to say the first thing that popped into my mind of lightheadedness is oxygenation. The juices are highly oxygenating to the body and dilating to the body. It will stimulate the blood vessels, stimulate the blood, stimulate blood flow. But even more importantly, the oxygenation, bringing oxygen to the cells. That will make you lightheaded. That will make you tingly. Try chugging down a quart of lemon ginger blast green juice. You get tingly. And that's because it brings an immense amount of oxygen right to the body very quickly. If you're drinking coffee, your blood vessels are restricted. That's what coffee does. It restricts the blood vessels. It restricts the blood flow to your brain. So when you open that up, you're going to feel a sensation of lightheadedness. But I would say that if you stopped drinking coffee, you relied on juices more and you had more juice, that sensation of tingles or lightheadedness would completely go away and would transform into clarity, focus, energy, and stamina.
Mhm,
But it
mhm.
takes time and it takes investment. Also, we're all inundated with our bad habits. We all like foods and stimulants and things that we know we shouldn't and aren't good for us.
Yeah.
And there's a cost to that. There is a cost to that. One of the amazing benefits of being raw vegan and kind of stepping out of the bad habits is that you're giving yourself the most exceptional vitality and health for your body. Until you experience it, it's hard to describe. People say, oh, yeah, that's great. It sounds good. Like it's working for you. Glad that's working for you. You do that over there. But little do people realize what it would mean for them if they did it and how it feels. I would recommend everybody do it for at least half a year or a year to experience for yourself and have the A B to compare to. How do you know it's not worth pursuing if you've never tried it? Give up the
Mhm.
animal products, give up the coffee, give up the sugar and the dairy or whatever your thing is, and go fully raw vegan for 1 year, feel the difference, and then make an educated choice as to what path you want to go down. I think you might be surprised at the results you experience.
Mhm, absolutely. And somebody was asking, breaking the fast. They were saying what, when, and how.
If you're doing a juice fast, to remove all of the waste out of the GI tract, which is the sole reason of why I recommend doing a juice fast. Remember, a juice fast is for one reason and one reason only, to eliminate all the waste and biofilms out of the GI tract that's inhibiting absorption and utilization. So we're not in that camp of 80% of people who are nutrient deficient, right? Let's be in the 20% or less who are absorbing and utilizing all of our food. That's what a juice fast should be for. Clean out the food tube, absolutely empty the GI tract so you know that it's time to break the fast when you have no more solid waste coming out.
Mhm,
Now, I think what is mind blowing and that most people will not understand is that you can eliminate solid waste for many months. Most people think, oh, a juice fast, couple
mhm,
weeks, I'd be out of there. I haven't been eating food in 2 weeks. Oh, I should be cleaned out. I even have people very concerned that they didn't have a single bowel movement in the first week of juice fasting. Now, I guarantee you, in that first week, what comes out is bubbly mucus and liquids and the juice you're drinking. And you're thinking, hey, look, I'm cleaned out in 7 days. Nothing solid is coming out. It's because you haven't even gotten to the impacted waste. You probably got 20 pounds of waste and plaque and biofilm in your GI tract. And it
Mm-hmm.
takes time for that to start to loosen up and eliminate. So after the first 2 weeks on a raw vegan, on a juice fast, you should see that start to come out. But you got to give it time. Some people can go, and I had one client who I worked with who went 120 days on a juice fast and never really seeing any bowel movements. And that was because they are
Wow.
chronically ill. Bless your heart if she ever listens to this. She was chronically ill her whole life and had acidosis to the level of almost at death's door. Extreme acidosis symptoms. I don't even want to describe it all, but just imagine horrific pain every day, living with pain, living with degenerative conditions, underweight, absorption issues. She went 120 days. That's 3 months or 4 months, and never saw any bowel movements come out, just little bits, just tiny little bits. That's because the level of juice fasting
Wow.
necessary was even bigger than that. We can get impacted. We can get chronic impaction of waste in our GI tract. If we have arthritis, acidosis symptoms, joint pain, these are symptoms that we are on that path to having impacted waste. It's imperative that we juice fast as long as it takes to empty the GI tract. That might be the biggest life journey that you've ever done. It might be the biggest dark night of the soul or healing crisis you've ever experienced, but it is the most worthwhile journey you will ever take. And that's why I call it the hero's journey, because we will face the dark night of the soul. We will face our fears and our limitations. We will stand right there at the threshold of our worst nightmare, and we
Mm-hmm.
will walk past it and realize how true health and healing happens. And it will be the most self-educational experience of our life. I think juice fasting is probably one of the most important self-educational experiences we can give ourselves. It would be like going to college for 4 years, but instead we learn what real healing is in 40 days or more to
So
experience
true.
what real healing is, you
So
know.
true. So
Yeah.
true. And I know a couple people were asking about oxalates with the juice and how that could affect us and blood sugar with like the fruit juices and stuff.
Okay, fruit juices do not require insulin to be utilized for energy. So when we drink juice, fruits, or eat fruit, even, there's no insulin, which means it won't spike the blood sugar. Fruit juices do not spike the blood sugar. There's always some sort of blood sugar spike when we ingest food of any kind, but not problematic blood sugar. In fact, people with insulin problems or blood sugar problems will notice on a juice fast, drinking nothing but pure high sugar fruit juice, that their blood sugar stabilizes and they have no more blood sugar problems. Blood sugar problems come from lipids and overt dietary fats. So if on a juice fast, we're eliminating dietary fats, we're not eating fat, we're just drinking juice. Therefore, within days, weeks, or within 30 days, we will see the blood sugar stabilize and normalize. Fruit juice is only going to be a problem for blood sugar when our GI tract is filled with food, we're digesting slowly, and we have a lot of dietary lipids flowing through our veins, which slows
Mm-hmm.
down our entire metabolic system. So clean that out, and you'll notice that your blood sugar stabilizes. This is why also a raw vegan diet is extremely stabilizing to the blood sugar. You never have spikes and crashes, and you never really feel that demand for hunger. You have kind of a sustained energy from morning till night with very minimal sensations of hunger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what was the other part of that question? I forgot.
It was just the oxalates and blood sugar. There were a few people commenting on that.
Oxalates are so important, and so many people are concerned about oxalates, not only in juices, but in a raw vegan diet,
Mm-hmm.
because they are hearing information from people who are anti-vegan. That's where that information comes from. It is purely an anti-vegan sentiment. There is no truth or validity to oxalates. We cannot ingest enough oxalates if we tried. Acids are the problem. If people have gallstones or issues that are blamed on oxalates, it's actually acids from meat, dairy, eggs, grains, oils, cooked foods, slow digestion, and acid buildup in the body. That's what causes the stones. That's what causes the problems. It's not oxalates. We cannot consume enough oxalates for it to be an issue. And if we could, it would still not be the cause of the issue that people are concerned about. It's an anti-vegan sentiment. It's a non-issue. Eat a raw vegan diet, high in fruits and vegetables, easy to digest greens and nuts and seeds, and you will thrive at the highest level of health. Oxalates are not something to be concerned about. However, it is touted as a fear-mongering device to deter people from a plant-based diet. And we can see that time and time again. The only people that, and I'm highly engaged on social media. So, I mean, I engage with hundreds of comments a week, thousands of comments a month. And the only place that oxalate fear is coming from, or the questioning of oxalates is coming from, is directly down the pipeline from anti-vegan sentiments.
Okay. Well, this has been amazing. This has been really good, jam-packed with so much information. So thank you for coming on and sharing everything and being so open and offering such great advice and wisdom. And I just want to say, if there's anything that you think we've missed or anything you feel called to end off with, as far as maybe any motivation or advice or inspiration, then absolutely do so and let everybody know where they can find you. And I will link all that below as well, Shane.
Thank you so much, Gillian. Yeah, it's my pleasure to do this work. I would say that this is my soul work and my purpose work that I have found through my healing transformational journey. I would encourage those who are called to a plant-based diet, a raw vegan diet, or juice fasting to say yes to the calling and allow the mentor to usher you across the threshold of fear. This is why I offer my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, which is an incredible support community. It's an accountability group, other people just like you who have fears and concerns, and we all support each other together. It's a movement that's bigger than me or anyone. We need accountability on our journey to become the best version of ourselves. Because if we coulda, we woulda. That's my saying. If we coulda, we woulda. If we could have gotten out of the stuck place we were in, or achieved that success we were looking for, or heal that health problem, we would have done it already. Sometimes we need to invest in the proper guidance and mentorship to get where we want to go. If we have resistance to mentorship, it's kind of like a detox symptom. It's because our ego is really holding on to that lone wolf syndrome. The ego doesn't want to be called out, and the ego doesn't want to be revealed for what it really is, which is just an annoying little voice holding you back from your greatest version of yourself and your true purpose and soul destiny. So you've got to drop the ego, be coachable, seek accountability, drop the lone wolf syndrome, and your self-esteem will start to improve and open up and show you the path. It's through the self-esteem path that we can actually see what our purpose could be in our life. And if you're somebody that feels like you have a purpose that you haven't quite ever figured out what it is, or you're not sure like how to step into a greater purpose, this is the path. This is the path. Intentional, intimate detox with ourself. The way we access our shadow and our trauma is through extreme intimacy with our trauma. And self-care is how we get intimate. What is intimacy? It's self-care. It's getting intimate with what we put in our mouth every day, the disciplines, the mindset, the intention behind what we're doing. If we can get really intimate and intentional with our self-care, it will reveal to us the trauma patterns that have been holding us back. It's part of this is where it is metaphysical. There is a metaphysical, spiritual component to a raw vegan diet and a juice fasting experience. And that's where it happens. A lot of the great healers and shamans and mystics throughout history talk about the nature of healing our wounds, healing the trauma. The gifts are in our wounding. The light is entering us through our wounds, where we have been traumatized, where we have been hurt, holds the key to our purpose. It drives the mission and purpose of our life. And it's so locked away, it's so repressed that we don't even realize we've forgotten about it. We don't even remember that we've locked it away. And this is where the intimacy can unlock it. Intimacy with our self-care. Intimacy with self-care is how we achieve transformation and self-healing at the highest level. So that's what I encourage people to do. My juice fasting group, Raw Vegan Heroes, is available on my website, rawveganrising.com, under the membership tab. It's very affordable to join. I make it very affordable for everybody, access for everybody who wants it.
Mhm.
And also, I'm on social media, Raw Vegan Rising on Instagram, Raw Vegan Rising on Facebook. I'm here to help. Thank you so much, Gillian, for having
Yeah.
me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. And to the viewers, I hope you guys love this one. If you did, give it a big thumbs up right now. Go follow Shane and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you don't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.